Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today, I have my co-host, Barbara. Are you there, Barbara?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everybody.
Yes. Now, our guest today is, I hope I pronounced your name correctly, Rori Montali. Is that correct?
Montalli, yes.
Montalli, yes.
Rory,
now,
welcome. Oh, my gosh, I'm
this
so glad that you're here with us today. You know what? You are amazing because I met you at the wonderful gifting suite.
Yes.
Yes. And then, I was in the parking lot taking a little break, and here comes this most gorgeous woman with her beautiful headdress of feathers and just this energy, this light and this engaging energy. And, you know, a lot of times when beautiful people come, you know, they're not so open and they're not so, like, free, and they're, like, she was just giving of her wonderful, positive energy, and we really connected that day, didn't we, Rory?
Barbara, it was fantastic. I just wanted to just check on just energetically. There's like a lot of like static energy. I totally heard the vibration of us meeting. I'm just hoping that I'm coming through completely clear. I'm hearing not so clear on your end, but I'm just going to stay with the flow and feel the transmission was that when we met in the parking lot, it was like a magnificent like connection where we really should have generally meeting anyone, right, Bob? Like when you meet someone, it's like kind of like, hey, how are you? And just feel like as if you know someone and kind of feel connected. And right away, Bob, you had Jonathan on the line. He was like FaceTiming you, and he was in bed in Florida.
Yeah.
And then we got a moment to really connect with him in his bed and right before he was going to pass out. And then it was just a beautiful connection in the sense which I wish we all had generally every day of our lives. Like we can just step out, Barbara or John, and we can just say hi and like feel like you can really feel connected to someone. Yeah,
that
was
very well said. Very well said.
What I was going to say about the meeting you, it's funny because when...
You're going to guys have to call me back on this live call. I know this sometimes is technology, but it's static all three ways.
Yes. Johnny, can you get our connections better? Because normally we're very clear. What's going on today? How could you make this better?
Let me see. Now, is it that you can't hear me, Rory?
I can hear you and I can hear her, but she says she can't hear me very well.
So what I'm going to do is get off the conference call. Let's just do it on my cell phone then, if that's what we need to do, if it has to be like this.
I didn't know she was on a conference call. Yes, please do hang up.
Oh, you're going to call me on a different number. You're going to call me on a
call back
on
my
cell phone. So we're live, so we don't want to lose the audience. So let's just do that. Thanks.
It's okay. We're not going to lose them. We're not going to lose them.
Don't worry.
Call back on the Life, Laughter, Happiness phone call. We don't need to have her on a conference, Johnny. And so do that, and we will talk amongst ourselves, and you'll be connected, and that's going to be much clearer, more clear, because you're going to be.
Oh, you mean you want me
to
call her back?
If you have her on a conference call, that's not the proper way to do it. You need to let her go, and she calls back on the Life After Happiness.
She did call on the Life After Happiness.
Well, I don't. Okay, then you guys decide then what you need to do to hear us.
Listen here. Okay, let me try something here. Okay. All right. Okay.
It's a crazy time in the world right now, everybody. Bear with us while Johnny tries to get Rory a better connection with the show. We have a lot to talk about today and cover, so please bear with us momentarily. Johnny and our guest will be back on the show.
All right, Barbara and Lori, can you hear? Does everyone hear each other?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Lori? Can you hear me, Barbara?
Can you hear me better?
Yeah, we're on.
Okay.
Okay, good.
So
I feel like it's a really great connection now, so that's good.
Oh, yeah.
But I was just going to say, like, one of the things that amazed me about when I met you was that, I always find it amazing when people do things that sort of, like you were wearing your headset, your headdress,
Headdress.
And the reason I like it is that someone is going to be unique. If they want to get their message across, the best way to do it is to be unique, And I thought that was kind of creative the way you did that. Do you think so, Barbara?
Oh, my goodness. When she got out of her car, and I was taking a little break from the event outside, and I was talking to you, actually, with my selfie stick on FaceTime, Johnny, and this beautiful young woman comes up to me, and she was so generous with her wonderful light and her beauty. And sometimes, when people are so gorgeous and beautiful, and they come out and they just, they think they're hot stuff. They walk by you. No, this was not her. She was engaging. I said, hi. She said, hi. We struck up a conversation. And it's kind of like we were talking about before we were interrupted with our bad connection earlier, 1 minute ago, that it's kind of like a kinetic energy, like a kindred spirit. Don't you think, Rori?
Yeah, it was just so beyond natural where it's kind of like you didn't really try. I wasn't looking to, like, get anything from you. I was just in the spirit of, like, the sun out, being connected to really the gifting of just being present and being invited somewhere was just an energy in itself, like just having someone inviting us somewhere, it felt like an energy, and then I wanted to give back. So I was like in a space where when I meet people, I try to see as if they're like family in the sense of like you're not a stranger. We're all one. We're all here for the main purpose to, be connected, I feel. And I that's how I live my life. So thank you for my light and energy, because that's all I know. Like, if you say, Barbara, like, what do you know? And I would say, well, Rory, what do you know? And I would say the only thing I know is really energy and light. Yes. I don't know if I necessarily have all the skills in the world to know, a million things. But when it comes to energy and looking eye contact, like eye to eye, and just breathing and just smiling and just being genuinely, like, really present, I feel like that's the magic, and that's the magic we have together.
Yes. And you know what? It's so funny because this was an Oscar gifting suite. This had nothing to do with our healing or what we do on the show all the time. And when she came up to me and I felt that, I told her a little bit about it, and I introduced her to you, and she was so friendly to Johnny on the FaceTime. And then we found out that she's a healer. And I said, you'd be perfect for our show as a guest.
Aww.
And you were proactive. And you contacted us back. And I thought, you know what? Johnny told me that today. And I said, you know what? I love it when we have guests that want to be here. She wants to be here. And I love that. It's like a true blessing because we're going through so much in the world right now. And we're actually uniting. The whole world is uniting. And nothing happens by coincidence, I'm learning by my year on the show. Everything happens for a reason. And I think our guest today, please, since we were interrupted earlier with the bad connection, can you just please tell the audience and just introduce her again, Johnny, please, for everybody to know who our guest is.
Her name is Rori. And she is a healer, and what she does is she helps people connect and be more intimate. If I'm for the right choice of words. Now,
wow!
My question to you
I know, but wow, for the listeners, this is going to be a fun show.
Now, what got you started in helping people connect and be more intimate, Rori?
How did it start?
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Okay, let's get vulnerable. Yes. Should we say yes to everyone to get vulnerable? How it got started is where you have to make a decision when you have a life experience happen in life where there's a road crossing and you're like, either I'm going to die or I'm going to get sober. That's how that happened for me. With one of those things where I was gifted for years being told through my meditation, I had this voice tell me that I'm a healer. Now, how would you hear that voice? By being really silent, watching sunsets, maybe like actually being in Hawaii. I was using the old video cameras, like, you know, those old-fashioned big clunky ones. Anyway, I was carrying that with me in Hawaii, and I heard this little voice. And as the sun was hitting the actual, like, saying goodbye, the sun was gone. It was like, you're a healer. And I was like, no way, what's that? Like, I don't know if I want to dedicate my life to helping people. I'm drinking. I'm partying. I'm a New Yorker. I don't want to do any of that. I want to just be and not help. That's the mentality I had. So it went into that space of hearing that voice. And then actually 10 years later, I got sober at 30. And then I got to have every single possible healing modality come to me as a gift. So if someone was like Dr. Pearl, he does the reconnective healing. I flew out to Brazil. He gave me the whole program for free to be there. If I was a Reiki master, someone would just give me the gift. So it was basically that I was told I was a healer through meditation and not asking, just a voice, to getting sober, to then having all these people come into my life without me asking for it, giving me the gift of healing. So I never paid $1 forever of my healing, ever. Like, I never took a course, even though I have 10 certifications, of ever it not being free. So that's the message I was given from God to say, you are this, you can do my work. You need to get sober and then find who I am and find it for yourself and get the healing you need first. Find me as a person of a source, which is my higher self, and then you can help others. So that was my whole
Okay, what do
plan.
you mean by, okay, Rori, what do you mean by being sober? What if there are people out there who do not have a dependency problem and they like to have, you know, a tequila on Cinco de Mayo, or on their birthday, they love to have a champagne. I mean, do they have to be completely sober to work with?
Oh, no. So you were asking my story, how I discovered just of who I am. I there's nothing to do with drinking or anything to do working with me. I'm all for drinking. I'm all for getting out of self. My story for healing purposes working with me is that it would work best if you work 24 hours not having tequila and having really, you know, psychedelic or something.
Oh.
But, so that way we can get into the subconscious. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make that clear, but I totally understand. For example, like say I was in my competition years of dancing and I was going to practice and I was really studying and I was practicing that day. I would go there completely sober. So it's like that. When we work on ourselves, we want to come completely just raw ourselves with nothing altering our mind, body, or spirit. It's just raw us. Then that's the best way to work. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I did for my healing, and that worked. And I tried it both ways, and it really works best if you just come raw and, like, just ready to rock and roll.
Okay, good. Well, I want.
Can I give this example because we're going through the coronavirus?
Yes, that's what I was just going to ask you.
What it's like
for an
to
example.
take, like, an aspirin when you have a fever, or what it would be like to ride it out. That's what they're suggesting out there, right? It's the same thing in healing as if it was like not taking a Motrin or for a fever. It's about riding it out. It's about maybe putting peppermint oil on your on your forehead to lower the reducing fever. But do not take things to prolong it. So if you take drugs and alcohol when you're in your healing process, it's just prolonging versus getting through it so fast so we can move on and be in our purpose, be in prosperity, and actually living the life of our desires.
I totally agree. I totally agree. Sometimes, when you have cramps
Let
or
me
you have
ask
a
you
headache.
this. Do you
Yeah,
feel
Johnny,
that this is a
Johnny,
problem that everyone
Johnny,
has to a certain
Johnny,
extent?
Johnny, can you not hear
What's
me?
the problem?
I was asking a question.
Well, like
Johnny?
they have a hard time connecting, being intimate, and developing their intuition. That this is something that everybody
Johnny?
can use,
Johnny.
or is this something that is
Okay, can
for
you not
people
hear me?
who are in need?
Hello?
I feel
Can
that
you not
we're
hear
all
me?
equal. We're all given the same gifts,
You
and
can't
we
hear
all
me.
have intuition. We all
You
have
guys
it.
cannot hear me?
Whether or not we want to stop for a moment and ask our bodies
Okay.
a simple question. Here's a simple
Hear
tool
me.
I can give the audience right away if they're listening.
Hear
It's
me
like they
then.
really want to know right now, like what can I tangibly take right now? This is one tool that is easy to find, intuition. If you're in a situation and you're not sure, you can ask yourself this question. Does it feel heavy or does it feel light? Any situation. Does it feel heavy or does it feel light? You can actually feel the sensation of that question and then know, do I want to go towards it or go against it? If I want to go out to dinner with mom tonight, does it feel heavy on my heart or does it feel light? You can ask that question. That's intuition to start practicing. So everyone has it. It's just a matter of what tools can you give someone that might not know what questions to ask themselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So with
It makes
my
sense.
intuition, I generally ask, will I be a benefit to this show today? Does it feel heavy or does it feel light? My goal asking questions of my intuition wasn't about marketing me, wasn't about what can I get out of this. It was about how can I help that person that might be just right there, right now, and dying to know how can I, feel connected, how can I use my intuition. I don't want to make bad decisions. I just want to be without anxiety. I just want to feel that I can get through another day. That's real. That's how I come on these shows, is if I can be an asset. Does that make sense? That's intuition for me.
Yes, that makes sense.
People ask all the time, Rori, can you speak on this topic? And I'm a public speaker. Yeah, I'm sure Barbara can relate to that. But if you're not in alignment of what you're sharing from my heart to the audience, there's no reason to be on any show or anything. This is about this one person that might be just feeling that they can feel like they're in their bedroom or they're in the living room and I'm there with the two of you. And they can feel tangibly that they can grasp how they can get the support that they need today. So that's my little spiel, energetically.
Barbara, are you there?
I've
Okay.
been asking questions and I've been talking, but you guys can't hear me.
No, okay, we can hear you now.
Hello? Oh, you can?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay. I don't know what happened there, but I was talking and I was asking questions and then nobody was hearing me. Okay, so I took my AirPods off and now I'm on speaker, so let's hope that the rest of the show goes well. I really love what you do, and, okay. I'm sorry, there was an interruption. You guys, this is a very crazy time right now in the world. And what I was saying when you could not hear me was that nothing happens by accident. There's no coincidences. There was a reason why we met, and there's a reason why you're here today. So that's what I was saying, and I was like, hello, and you guys couldn't even hear me, so that was weird. Sorry for the interruption. But I think it's great. I want to get more into what you do. Let's just say, okay, I come in there with, I don't have a boyfriend right now, but say I do have a boyfriend. We're new. We've probably been dating 3 weeks. Maybe we've had a little intimacy. Maybe we've touched upon that a little bit. And we come to you as a couple, a new couple. Where would you start? Like, what should walk us through our, 45 minutes, an hour session? What is it? Tell us about that.
Oh, well, my program is 6 weeks, and it's usually, it starts with energy between the couple. And really what I do, so it's just to let you know, I'm an intimacy and connection expert, but in the sense of coaching for desire. So it's basically having two people come to me and really doing a desire contract, which means I put a little thing together where both parties can actually come to me and actually speak with my program what desires is coming through, their big, the big desires, their little desires, their belief systems, and so forth. And then it's about creating an experience. That's what I'm known for in the sense of energy, is bringing an experience together. Now, it's not sexual at all. Let me get that very clear. This is about intimacy.
Okay.
Intimacy to me is about connection within self, connection to your breath, connection to where your feet are landed, connected to your desire, connected to your heart, knowing where you want to go with this relationship, knowing what you want to get out of the relationship, and then speaking that truth, and then having an experience of communication, of having an experience. I put ceremonial things together for couples. It's not therapy. I'm not a therapist. I never claim to sit there and say, what do you think? What do you think? No. It's everything from the moment they see me until they actually facilitate the experience in the sense of conversation or exercises that I facilitate the whole hour, sometimes 3 hours, sometimes a weekend retreat. It depends on what their needs are. It's so much fun because I get to see where they started, where their contracts are, and where they actually leave. And then they're still to this day, I get chills. Oh, my God, like tears in my eyes. That's where they're saying, Rori, I want to hire you for another experience. I'm like, you guys are so experienced already. Come on. And they're like, no, but it's so nice to be facilitated. So here's where I go. As a teacher, right, and a student, I would say I'm always in an experience of myself, of my learning and teaching as well. I love when I date someone, go to have an experience together, let's say another teacher or someone that can facilitate our experience, bring depth, and bring so much like unknown mystery and discovery that I am in so awe when I'm in, like, if I'm dating someone, let's say these 3 weeks, I would say, let's have an experience. Let's not just go out and talk, what do you do? What do you do? How's your parents? What do you like to do for a hobby? I want to know what this person's like, literally, maybe going and doing a bungee jump. Like, I'm not joking. Like, you could see their fears. You can see everything. Let's have an experience of something.
Yes,
and then
you get so much
talk about it
closer that way. I love that because when you are dating somebody, you're not just dating maybe for fun, but, when we become older, in our 30s, in our 40s, we're serious about who we spend time with. We don't want to waste time. We want to know. And then that it's not a sexual thing. It can just make sex better, though. But first, let's set the foundation. And so you help that. That's what I'm getting from this. You help set the foundation of who is this person deeply, who to the core. And then you can respect that, and then you value that. So when you're out meeting other people as a couple, there's no like, oh, I wonder what they're thinking. I wonder, all these little insecurities that pop up from our whole life that, we need to work through. But all these little insecurities, you've already dealt with that. You've helped them. You've opened them up deeply. I feel like that makes the road to the relationship a lot more successful. That's how I am taking this and seeing this. Am I correct?
Oh, yeah, and the secret sauce for the advanced practitioner, the advanced couples, when they get to that desire and then they experience, there's this moment which I wish I can put on video to show you the transmission that goes on when they just sit in silence. And there's an exercise that I do sometimes where they're not speaking, so it's a non-verbal communication, left eye to left eye, and they're breathing, and they're laughing in the sense because they never really looked at each other to be seen, right? And they just breathe, right? It's called soul gazing. And if they do that for a second, sometimes I can do 30 seconds, sometimes I can do 5 minutes, depending on the advance of their love and their connection. If they're scared or they're fearful to look and not talk, it's because they're not really present to what's possible just by being eye to eye with this person and they're breathing. This is for the people that really know each other. You get what I'm saying?
Well,
There's
yes,
an
but
exercise
they will,
that changes their lives from that exercise.
But they will, just by them coming to you, just by them making the appointment, just by them being there, that's half the battle because, one partner is saying, I really want to do this, and the other one is saying, okay, well, then that's half the battle. So when they're in front of you that they're open to the work. So that's good. But
well,
what
do you want me to give you an example? It's not always yes.
What if you have a girlfriend and she's met this wonderful guy and she's trying to tell him about this kind of work and inviting him into a session and he's reluctant? What would you do to try to let him know that from this, your work?
All right, this is a great one. I'm dealing with this right now, Bob. This is perfect example. Oh Lord, this is good. I have a couple right now that, because I'm not a couples like coach. I'm a public speaker. I'm more like as an experience on stage and help millions of people. But where I'm going with this right now is that very few people I work with these days, because it's limited time and you don't have the weekends to give away, but you do the best you can. I book out 2 months in advance, But in this space with this couple, I have something booked on this Sunday. They have been married for 26 years. What my girlfriend is now, she came to me recently and has her husband, and they don't have sex. She had cancer. She can't connect to her husband. They're asking for an experience, and she said to me, he's not going to want to do anything with me. I said, well, what do you desire in the sense of activity? So it took 6 weeks to figure out what he likes, what she likes. They don't have anything. They've been going to couples therapy for 10 years. Nothing's working. They don't want a divorce. So she's like, I love yoga. And he's like, he loves yoga. So I found a common thread of something that they like. So we're going to nature, and they're going to have an experience with me because they don't talk, they don't have sex, no one's interested in doing anything together, but they're willing to do this, and then they're willing to tell the kids that if this works, that they want the kids to come for, the birthday and then do this experience again with the family. So that way they can reconnect because there's no talking in the house. They're not having sex. They don't want to divorce, but they love each other. So they found something, and then they're coming to, but the way I do it is very sexy because it's an invitation, the way you do handwritten letters. And you do it in a way where you're not asking, you're not sending an email, you're just doing things that are the abnormal way of doing, Barbara. They're going to send a handwritten letter to his pillow and be romantic and say, will you come to a yoga experience? I had booked this practitioner, and I want to do this because I teach yoga as well. So I'm a yoga practitioner. I teach yin yoga. So I'll have a ceremony for the two of them So, it's not just I'm coaching. I'm a yoga teacher. I'm a massage therapist. I do tantra massage. I help them get connected in the sense of facilitation of dialogue and maybe dancing, something, whatever. I'm a dancer. So, it's about
everybody's different. Everybody's unique. Yes, and you have to be able to roll with that and change and find out what they have in common. So that is an amazing story. A couple that has been married so many years, but they still love each other. They're not going to give up. There's so much divorce in the United States and the world. There's so much divorce, and they don't want that. They want to try to fix it. And you're doing that. I love it. This is totally cool. This is amazing. Wow. So it's not like some sexual thing or some intimate kind of crazy stuff. You're opening their eyes up to their partner of what their needs are emotionally and spiritually, body, soul, mind, and they're listening to their partner of what they need, and then you're kind of fine-tuning it and then creating an experience. That is totally cool. I love that.
Fun in nature. Yeah. And then they're more open to just being let go. It's not at all a therapy session. Like there's no such thing in my ceremony. It's called a ceremony, and where they never get to talk about their stuff. It's about where they come in and they both bring a gift to each other. It's a lot of steps. It's not just something, I could give you the whole breakdown, but every person has been such an experience from where we created from A to Z, and they're both creating the experience, and then we're going out and we're doing, and they're facilitating as if they're having their own workshop together. So that way they're not lost in translation and trying to what's next after they have this. They're getting in a workshop one-on-one to break through what their end goal is for each other, is to have fun, to laugh, to remember what it was like to just have an experience and not have like a boring Sunday where no one's talking to each other and they're just doing their own thing. That's it.
Right. Wow. Okay, so if they are a couple, everybody loves massage. Well, a few people I've met don't like it, but they like giving it. So what if somebody says, okay, I like massage? Then do you do couples massage, but then is there another person to do it in the room, or how do you work the massage into your sessions?
Okay, so I teach intimacy and connection massage classes, and what I do is, if I was doing it for a class or an individual, is I would have them have a desire-based conversation. So if we're talking to a larger audience or a smaller audience, it's the same process. You have to find out, what their desires are in touch, and what their boundaries are every session. So I teach couples how to do this practice at home, so they can be in a 15-minute, 30-minute, or an hour practice. Each person gets their own experience. The first person goes first. They say what their desires are. Then they tell them what the boundaries are. Everyone, Barbara and Jonathan, has a boundary. I don't like my fingers being licked and put in my ear, right? That's a boundary, right? We know that, right?
Yeah.
Things that I don't, right? I don't really like certain parts of my body being touched,
But some people,
or a light touch, or
Rori, some people would love that. And some people would think, oh, God, that gives me, like Johnny. He's always talking about he likes to do what? Just tell. It's okay. We've got our YouTube channels, 18 and plus. Okay, what did tell her again?
Kiss the woman on the neck.
So you're starting with kissing on the neck. So that's beautiful. And that could be your desire, where you would say to me, let's say we were lovers, and you would say, Rory, my desire is to be kissed on the neck. And then I have a chance to say, you say all your desires, and when it's your turn, then you say your boundaries, and then you put on the music, and then you play it out of the role of the experience for that person that you're going to massage. And then that person, after you tell me your desires, and let's say you said, I like kissing on my neck, and let's say it's that day, I don't want to do that for you, I would negotiate, because I still have to hold my boundary to say, I don't feel like doing that for you today, but not in a negative way. I would say, would you be open to me maybe soft kisses on your hands? See? Okay. So you would say, yeah, that feels good. You negotiate on both parties. No one's doing something that they don't want to do just to please you. And that person has to feel a hell yes to do that position, to do what they want to do as well. Yeah.
So, Rori, you know what? I think it just it comes down to really good communication skills here.
That's all I teach, yes. And desire.
Yep, it's communication skills, because there's so many things that, an individual likes, but you know what? Maybe they don't feel like it that day, or they don't have the energy. There are things you can buy. You can buy, maybe you can get a feather. You could tickle them. Maybe you don't have the energy for kissing that day. Maybe there's a feather you could tickle them on the neck with or something.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things, right?
There's so many things of playing out, and it's also, I teach a lot of times, a lot of husbands come home and they're grabbing their wives or girlfriends, and they expect to just always be on, and there's also that communication I teach within not just massage, it's just in life, like how to be like, hey, speaking to your man, well, when you come to me and you do that, let me let you know that feels good to me. Not all the time, but to have a communication. It's really a way of boundaries, so you're protecting yourself. So that way you're not snapping or being nasty if your man's coming home late at night and you're just like not in the mood, and like you take it out on rejecting him or rejecting her. It's kind of like have like a communication gaming program. It's hard to explain if you're not my client.
You are explaining it, I think, really well. Because
okay, I hope so.
You are. This is a thing with couples. Okay, every day is different. It's not always like regimented, like we're from like the military here. Every day is going to be a little different. So where did you learn this, though? I mean, earlier in the show you were saying you never did have a formal education in this, but you just had this inept ability to be able to hone in on people's desires, wants, communication skills. And so where did this come from, do you think, within you?
Oh, well, how does it come? Okay, when you're disconnected in any which way form, you have to get real with the call. Is there anybody on the call that would want me to discuss that with them in the way of understanding this? Is there anyone out
Johnny,
there?
do we have any callers? Johnny, do we have
No, we don't.
Callers? Oh, because we didn't advertise callers. We didn't know that you... Okay, let's pretend then. Let's say I'm a caller. I'm going to call in right now. Okay, let's pretend. Let's role play it. Okay.
Okay. Barbara, you're there.
Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hi. My name is Angie, and I'm from...
Angie.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Hi, Angie. Thank you. Thanks for being on the air. We appreciate that. We're really happy to have you. And how can we help you?
Thank you. I'm from Minnesota, and I just am so I love your show. I'm calling because, well, my husband and I, we've been married for 20 years, and, well, it gets a little bit dull, and I want to spice it up. We're starting to, like, he's sassy with me, and then, we get a little bit uppity with each other, and life just becomes mundane. There's no real big, huge problem, but I just want to know what I can do. I try to talk to him. I try so hard to talk to him, but he always gets me wrong. I don't know what to do. He's always taking it wrong, and I love him so much. I try to be so sweet, and then he takes something wrong, and then there's another day that goes by, and another day goes by, and we're not really getting anywhere. And we've gone to counselors. We've gone to many counselors, and, we love each other, but it's just kind of like, blah. What do we do?
You guys aren't communicating.
Well, not the right way, I guess.
Well, you're not going into you're not reading into him in the sense of like where he really just wants to just feel you. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to be told possibly maybe like what's wrong or, saying the same tape. Maybe he hears the monotone or the same voice where he's like not going to register because he's in a belief system that this is the way it is. So there has to be something beyond an experience to get to his desire of hearing your attention. And you have to figure out, be creative of like, oh, he loves baseball. Oh, my God, I'm going to get him tickets to the best baseball game. I'm going to get him to the dugout. I'm going to get his ball. You find out what ticks this person and what, like, you do something to get him in his environment, and he knows that you're part of that experience to bring him somewhere or do something for him that's beyond, then he can hear you. That's my intuition on that. I'm just going in the moment of what I was tuning into that experience.
Okay, because I've done everything that he likes. He likes big bosoms, so, you know, I had the breast augmentation, and he loves it. But you're right. You felt it so much because, you know, I think I don't like baseball at all. And I never thought of that. I never thought of, you know, getting those tickets because I think he wants to show me off. I don't even think it's about the baseball game. I think he wants to show me off.
Well, I'm going to give you the actual scientific reasoning why I said that, because I have the 13 steps of intimacy and connection. I've been doing a program for many, many years. This is called the third-party entity. What this means is that he's in a relationship with himself, you're in a relationship with yourself, and then it's called the third-party entity, where the two of you are now surrendering to the relationship, to that relationship. That is the relationship that you're surrendering to that says, I don't like baseball. I'm going to do this and sacrifice the relationship to do this for him, so that way the outcome could be whatever it needs to be without anything putting a thing on it. You're just saying, for the relationship, outside myself, the third-party relationship is the relationship. You're in a relationship with self. He's in a relationship with himself. You both come together and sacrifice to be in that third party to make it work. That's a commitment. So what you're doing is saying, I don't really like baseball, but I'm going to go do this. So I could just do this for him. And then he sacrificed maybe going to church with you, which he doesn't like to go to church at all. And he does that with you maybe once a month on Sundays. That's how it works.
Yes. So that's the start of it. So if one person does the first step of, you know, trying to do something for their partner, that partner in return is going to be more open to doing something that is important to the other, their spouse. So I see how that works. And you know what? It really is a communication, but you have to be open to it because it's embarrassing sometimes. I mean, I just role played. I pretended I was a caller named Angie, and I was married for 20 years, and, you know, things got stagnant. And that is a perfect example of what you could start to do. So you break down, like, what does each person really like? The woman doesn't. The woman likes church. The guy doesn't. Okay, so you know what? She just altered her body for him. Really, but then they're just at home. She gets tickets. She goes. She gets her Dodgers outfit on, or wherever, you know, they live, and she looks really cute, and he's proud. And you know what? She's smiling the whole time. Hey, do you want a Dodger dog or whatever? Sure, honey. Whatever. Do his day. Do his day, and be nice. Don't sass. Don't, you know, be negative. Then he'll be more open to doing your day. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Johnny, what do you think about that? It's all about communication and positivity, but you have to be willing.
Well, I also
you have
think
to be
that
open for this kind of work, though. You have to be open to it.
I was just going to say something, because this is something I've noticed with women, and I think the reason you would probably, maybe you could explain this. You know, maybe you explain this. I have this, one of the things that I sort of love with a woman is when the woman blushes. And I think, to me, blushing is a sign of a caring heart, and I'll explain why, Rori. When a woman is blushing, she's immediately saying, you know, like if you compliment a woman and she blushes, this isn't a tangent, by the way. This is not a tangent. She's blushing. She's saying to herself, wait a minute, do I really deserve to hear this compliment? You know, and it's a self-defense for things that feel good or that feel good to her. And I think intimacy is important, is that you have to be able to accept a compliment, you know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like It's like, you have beautiful hair, it turns glowing red. I know what she's doing. She's saying, do I really need to hear that? Do I deserve to hear that?
Well, should you say, Rory, should you as the man say, oh, I see you're blushing? No, when people are blushing, they don't want anybody to notice. Their face turns so red. I've felt my face turn red, and I could see people noticing it with their eyes. I don't want to bring it to the attention. I mean, it's embarrassing.
Okay, so what's the question you're asking me?
Well, I'm curious. I mean, what's the best thing you can do if a woman blushes? Because, I think that, to me, it's a sign that she's thinking of the other person immediately, is what's happening.
So do you want me to give you an example that happened just the other day with something? Let me give an example so that way it can happen to something. The best solution always with me is having your first-party experience within yourself to feel what that might feel like. If someone gives you advice and tells you something, it's not going to come from what you really knew what that experience was for you to really catch that. My experience that happened just recently was I went out to, let's just say, a date with someone. And I wasn't relating to the waitress very well, and I was being difficult with my food allergies and the way I eat so clean, and I was becoming a little difficult, right? And I could see from across my first date that it was getting a little bit worked up, and he looked like he was blushing and red, like he was embarrassed for me. What I did in that moment is I took a step back, and I saw my behavior in this way of being, and I actually cleaned that up. I'm just saying that was just my experience, is that I'm an intuitive. So I was like, he's blushing. I said something that turned him off in a sense, but I don't know what that meaning is. So instead, I said, I'm noticing that this could possibly make you uncomfortable. You're not saying to the person, did I make you uncomfortable, calling it out on the blushing. I said, I know this was a little bit of a mess kind of situation for our first date to have this kind of thing. Is there how I want to clean this up is I want to just apologize, for this, confusion of my food. And as soon as I did that with this person, oh my God, we had the best time of our life. I didn't make him wrong or right, but I wanted the energy to be better, Jonathan. Knowing that person was embarrassed from blushing or some sort of reaction from blood coming to the face, some sort of involuntary experience this person had. They had a body
but why
experience
does Johnny
of an
like
emotion.
it when they blush? Because blushing, I feel like, yeah, it's cute, but it also can be negative because it's uncomfortable. That's why they're blushing. They're uncomfortable. So why does Johnny? How would you break it down with Johnny saying, I like it when they blush?
Well, Johnny, I would think, would want attention. He likes attention.
Well, what it is
That's what I thought.
Is that I've noticed that it's hard. Like, usually what happens is that the woman will ask me for something but blush red when she asks for it. And then, it's sort of like, well, wait a minute, why are you blushing? I mean, it's okay. It's okay to ask for it. It's okay to, or she'll say something like, I love it when you hugged me or something, turn beet red. It's like, well, why do you see what I'm saying? I think what she's doing when she's blushing is that she's thinking of other people. She's being selfless, because it's her body, she has to know that it's okay to want the hug,
Yeah, I think that you like the reaction. You want to feel you want to know that she's stimulated in some way.
Yeah.
So that's something that you have to look at. Why do you need something from someone else for a reaction for you to feel okay? That would be my thing too. Is like always
why, Johnny?
Looking to that.
Why,
Johnny?
That's my question too, Rory. Rory, that's my question too to Johnny.
But
why
we don't want to make Jonathan wrong either.
Yeah, we want to raw him out, Johnny. Why do you want that reaction?
Well, okay. First of all, I have a hard time picking up on social cues. So if a woman turns beet red, then at least I know, okay, something's happening.
Yeah.
I mean,
you need
it's
something.
like
you need the reassurance that something's happening.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So instead of having to need a reaction, could be good or bad or not really clear, the best ever is to just absolutely bring it out to what is it that you want to really have it, share with this person.
Now, let me ask you
And that's
this.
what you get to the bottom of. That's what Rory gets to
you
the
always
bottom
want
of.
to know what's going on. Yeah. No assuming, no walking away thinking maybe she likes me, maybe not. You're just really, honestly wanting to be selfish so you can feel as a king, as a man. A man wants to be with masculinity, right? They don't want to feel demasculated. You want to feel on top of the world, whatever situation is with a woman, and you want to be feeling respected. So you want
I think
I
feel needed. I guess I feel needed a little bit. I don't want a woman to feel like she's humiliated, but I mean, I want her to know that it's okay to ask for things, and sometimes it's hard. It's like, or I've noticed that happens sometimes, and I don't want a woman to feel nervous.
I understand.
Well, then I would have. Do you live with this person?
Me? Oh, I don't.
No, this is not a person. He doesn't have a girlfriend at this time. He's just saying in his past that he likes to see a woman blush, but that's his. He's saying, I like to know that I am getting a reaction of some sort. So maybe the therapy that Rory could give would give Johnny a different avenue of getting a reaction from a woman that wasn't making her feel uncomfortable to where her face was turning red.
Well, yeah, then it would be called like an open journal dialogue. So what I would do in that particular situation is that I wouldn't ask either to want a reaction. What I would do is say, have it written out, like it's like a journal you share if you lived at home. And it's like whatever feelings you have or anything you want to express, it's that open book that each person can write in and share their experience and their feelings and their emotions. So that way it's not back and forth trying to get something out of someone. If you need something, Jonathan could say, I'm noticing that, I want a reaction from him. He speaks his truth. And I'm just wondering, instead, would you be able to be more open to expressing how you're feeling? That's it, or something like that. And she would write back, I don't really feel like sharing about any of this, but I will let you know that, I'm embarrassed about your behavior. And then she writes that. It's more of a communication. But you both, it's an exercise I do with couples and lovers where they can do this exercise where they are not allowed to speak about what they had written. They have to make an appointment together in their calendar to have that moment, to have that discussion. Here's what I'm saying. If Jonathan wrote, I really would like this from you to tell me how you feel instead of me guessing sometimes for a reaction and I'm noticed. She writes, well, I'm disgusted by your behavior, the way you acted at the dinner party. Then Jonathan goes back and goes, love, I would love to make an appointment Friday at dinner when you get home at 6. Can I have 10 minutes to discuss something in the book? And then she has to have an agreement to say if she's open to hearing it or not. And she says, no, I'm really not. He has to respect that, and then they don't talk about it. It's because both people have to have this kind of a weird feeling where they're invited to the conversation if it's not something that they want to hear. I mean, it's really, really beautiful to actually have something written in that book, and that person respectfully says, invites me to have that conversation about something. Make sense?
It is beautiful.
And then you know what I say half the time, because I do this with my lovers too, with people I'm involved with. And I would say, you know what, I really don't want to talk face to face. It feels like we're not going to get anywhere about the behavior. But what I will do is let's go on the roller coaster at Santa Monica Pier, and then after that we'll have an ice cream, and then I'll listen to what you have to say. You see what I'm saying? Then it's like, I could get a date out of it. I can get ice cream. I could get what I want, and then he'll allow me. I'll hear him better because I'm so disgusted with his behavior. I don't want to see him. I don't want to talk to him. I need some time, but instead of having so much time go away where it's separation instead of connection with the lover that I really do want to be connected with, I will say, okay, I will like to do this. And because I'm going to hear you better if we try to go for an ice cream or we do walk the dog together at the beach, then, hey, I'm going to listen to you on your terms. Did you get that?
Oh, yeah, I totally get that. All this work and people like you that are doing this kind of work are amazing, and it's just so beneficial to everybody. But me personally, being on the show and listening to this kind of work. And I'm single. I'm not even dating, especially now, coronavirus. I'm in. But when I do, I'm going to expect this kind of communication. And, okay, yes, I will expect it. If I'm not going to get it, I'm not going to just throw the relationship in the trash can. I'm going to know, hey, you're a human being. You do not have the tools. I will go to you, Rori, make an appointment for us. If he cares for me, I think that he would do that for me. Go to the first appointment. Sign up for a 6-week course with you. And then get that foundation of communication and open ourselves up to, let's have the best relationship possible that we can have. We only live once here. So why not invest in that? Invest in, what we have. We met each other. There's an energy. We fell in love. Okay, if there's one thing, this is why my last relationship didn't work. I felt like everything I said, I might say the wrong thing or I might do the wrong thing, and then it's just going to be over. Okay, well, it's just going to be over. I had you working with me during that. Maybe then he would see that, don't give up just because one little thing ticks you off or one little thing isn't perfect for you. Or, you would see working with us, there's no help for that person. Get rid of them, Barbara. You deserve better, And then I love it. I know. I really do love it. I love this so much. Don't you, Johnny?
Yes, I love it.
Gosh,
I love it.
Amazing.
I love it how it unfolded.
It did, because I get it, and I got it when I met you. First few seconds, I felt this great energy, and then when you told me the work that you do, I thought, yeah, this is a wonderful thing for couples. And I want everybody to know how to find you, and I know how to find you, and I'll tell everybody right now. RoriMontali.com. Am I pronouncing your last name correctly? Montali.
Yeah, and it's on the page. Yeah, and they can just Instagram me immediately, or just reach out, and that way, if someone has an experience that they want to.
Let me just. We're not done yet with talking to you though, but I would like the listeners now to be able to jot this down. Let me spell it. Rori, RoriMontali.com. RoriMontali.com. And
it's so easy.
You can,
it's Rori Montali Instagram. It's Rori Montali.
Rori Montali.
It's Rori Montali Facebook. It's Rori Montali. It's
everywhere, across the board.
No, it's my name.
And then they can book you and get this wonderful experience. Is this always a 6-week course, or is there like a shorter course, or is there like a preliminary, or how does this work if, say, somebody calls you up or emails you or goes on your website? What are the first steps to getting it going, getting their relationship refreshed and going? What's the first step?
Well, it's not only about couples love. So the first step is the road of intimacy is the first step of anything I do, even if it was a couple coming to me. I'm actually taking responsibility for that person's own well-being of their own path and not involving it about – it's the road of intimacy. So the first step is road of intimacy. And it's really a matter of like an exploratory session. So that's what my gift is today for people that are listening or want that free exploratory session. That's about seeing if I and the person is a good fit, because it's not necessarily that they think I'm a good fit. I don't know if they're a good fit for me either. So it kind of has to be an energy of two people that do an exploratory session, which could be 1 hour of the individual, or it could be 1 hour of just two of the people on the phone with me. Sometimes it's just right off the bat for a 1 hour session. It's either with the person alone, or they can bring their spouse or have someone else come in. but it always starts for the two people to have an exploratory of themselves before I would even have the two of them on the phone. Make sense?
Okay.
I both would have them both fill out some paperwork of desire contract before it would be messy on the phone. So it's a really high intention.
Intentions are the best intentions. That's the way to go. Let me play a little something for the listeners about what people are saying about Rori. Okay, listen. Well, okay.
Hi, my name is Martin. I'm from Copenhagen, Denmark, and I've been working with Rori for quite a few sessions now. And I've been in self-help bracket. I'm a self-help nut, and
Can't hear this, Barbara. It's not necessary.
That I can't explain it.
What? That was amazing.
I can't hear what. Okay, you could send that to me. Is that possible? I have no idea what that person.
No, that's
on.
on. That is on your website. I'm on your website right now, and it's amazing. Yeah, I'm on your website, and I'm listening to the testimonials from your people that are working with you.
Okay.
She gave me a call from work, dealing with my mother and how she wants me to live my life.
Barbara, you can't really hear me to the audience.
I'm currently going to be saving $15 on it. I want to go.
You cannot hear that?
No.
You couldn't hear the testimonial that I was playing?
No.
Dr. Joseph Watson, Catholic physician and surgeon. I had the opportunity to experience Reiki and Rori and Alicia. He came to my office when I was open to receiving, and he just made a remarkable change from feeling depleted and non-energetic.
No, he's a doctor, osteopath.
The spirit of grace, but move more available. The energetic being, we share what we know in this book.
Okay, I just wanted to play you several of the testimonials that are on your website, and you have many, Rori. I mean, you have many, many, many testimonials of people that are working with you with not just couple therapy, but individuals and all these testimonials. I'm sorry that you weren't able to hear that very well, but I wanted to try to play a couple of the testimonials. Sure. Did you not hear that? Did you not hear that?
Yeah, I heard Dr. Watson's when you were playing it because he was my client for 10 years. He's an osteopath surgeon physician. I have clients for 20 years still doing this work with me. Unfortunately, from New York, I started my first career with somebody and doing personal training with them into yoga and then into personal coaching. And it's not even about relationships, Barbara. This gentleman that I have for 20 years started with personal training and fitness is my background, into actually for leadership. So I help a lot of leaders now make big decisions with their intuition, so that way it's not about intimacy and connection with relationship. It's about intimacy and connection with leadership. So I have this huge podcast that I'm actually launching. It's called Orgasmic Leadership, right? And it's about how to tap into your intuition and your intimacy to generate leadership, right? And it's not about sexual. It's about how can we be more intimate? How can we use our tools for intuition to really be leaders and actually make good decisions as a leader and actually feel more connected to our role. Like as if I'm a public speaker, I'm at my own business, right? I'm a leader, right? You're a leader. Jonathan's a leader. We're leaders here doing our own business of our own. We're not working for a corporation at this moment. We're actually doing what we love doing. So that's a leader, right? As a leader, you have to.
I love your quote. Yes, that is. I love your quote. I access your emotional body and release your trauma, hurt, and destructive patterns, so you are set free.
That's it.
Wow. That is amazing.
It's the only
Johnny,
thing that I
can you believe that I was standing in the parking lot and she comes up to me? I always call it like this magnetic field that people have. You can stand by somebody, you can feel bad energy or you can feel good energy. But then there's the other, really amazing moments where somebody, you're like magnets and you're like, boom, together. And that, I feel like, happened to us that day. Do you feel that?
Yeah, it does. I mean, not recently.
No, does Rory feel that with me, that when we met, it was like a magnet. Oh. It was like, boom, it was connection. Rory?
Yeah, I'm here. I felt it.
And she's amazing, and her website is amazing, Rori Montali. And go to her website and the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything. She has amazing testimonials from people she's worked with for many, many years that she is helping. And can we have a session with you, Rory? Johnny and I, he's going to be coming to meet me. We've never met before. He does the show out of Florida. I do the show out of California. He has a plane ticket to come and meet me the day before his birthday. And maybe we could do this for his birthday. And he can, we're not a couple. We're really best friends. But maybe we could come and get a session and we could video it. Because you always say, I wish I had a video. Well, we'll let you video it.
You want me to give you some insight right now with my intuition that I know that I'm speaking to his truth and he can admit if he feels this or not live? Are you open to that, Jonathan?
Sure.
Okay. So here's in the space where I'm saying I agree. I would love to do that. In order to do that, he would answer these 3 questions, what his desires are right now for his birthday. I'm going to just do a live thing right now so that way you can see what it's really about, right? You have this idea. Both of you have to feel if it's okay, if that's what you want for your birthday. So you have to agree. She has to agree. Okay?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that what you want for your birthday?
Yes, I agree, yes. I mean, what is it that I have to do?
No.
You have to write 3 things that your desire is to have a facilitation.
Disagree.
Like
Disagree. Trust me. Trust, Rory. Trust me. Agree. Say yes.
Okay, I'm gonna help him with something. How do you feel? I'm gonna slow down. Everyone take a deep breath because I'm gonna say something that maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna take a deep breath.
Barbara, take 2 more deep breaths.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Jonathan.
I don't like people hearing me breathe like that. That was horrible. Okay, ready?
Jonathan, this is this is what I'm going to say to Jonathan. Jonathan, would you have more of a desire being on this show with Barbara? This is how I would present it. Now that we had our first session together, live, but yet you're in my office together, would you feel it would be beneficial for you to have an experience with Barbara, meeting her, if you can feel like you have more of a voice on the podcast? Let's just say, like, okay.
Yes,
See, I'm tuning into him, Barbara, so don't take this as offensive. Okay. Me and you were overpowering, talking so much.
I know.
He doesn't feel like he gets. So let me finish. No one interrupts for me in ceremony. So here's where I would do it.
Okay.
In the relationship for his birthday, he would write 3 things that he wants to work on so he can actually stay connected to you fully and be able to break through so that way there will be an outcome for him to feel amazing on the podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you would say, and then he would be like, okay, that would be one of his desires to work through, right? And maybe he'd have 2 more. Then you would have a desire, Barbara, that would say maybe you would want him to be a little bit more organized when it comes to technology before we get onto a YouTube. And then you would say these are things that I really wish that he would do better. So there's just not bad or good. It's just 3 desires coming together as a partnership, which you're doing on this podcast, be able to work through those 3 desires of yours and his, and then you'd have it live on the show. So it's kind of like take 2 with you guys having the experience to break through these 3 things and what that would look like.
I would love that. I would love that.
That's it.
How about you, Johnny?
That sounds fine.
But Rory,
But that,
why were you in LA and you live in New York? I met you in LA. Do you live in New York?
no, I own a place in Manhattan. I have a place in Manhattan. It's in Manhattan, and then I have a place on the ocean in Santa Monica. So I'm here currently in Santa Monica now.
Okay. Great. Okay, great. That's wonderful. Okay. So
Yeah, majority. Yeah.
if the coronavirus settles down and he can fly here with no problems on May 27th, then we will do it. But we could do a belated one. If he has to wait till June, then,
Right.
you know, let's do it, Johnny, because you know what? We need it. We need it. And, you know, it's not just for couples. It's not just for romance.
Here's what I would coach you. Well, Barbara, he might not want to be put on the spot, and this is a good experience for the way you question it is different the way people might look at it to do it. If it's his birthday and he wants the experience, he has to feel like he's going to be able to get something out of it where he wants to have something better in the relationship with you. He has to have a big desire to do it. When you say, yeah, let's do it, and then that doesn't normally work, but if you question it, like, what would you really like us to get deeper in our friendship and our work-related, you know, what would you want to work on? Like, I would love for you to ask him that so he can tell you what his 3 things are.
Yes, but you're probably really expensive. Could we do something where we could do this live, and then it is more of a business cross-promoting thing, so we could benefit from it? Because I know you're probably
Don't
really
we get a free? Actually, I looked at our website. Don't we get like a free consultation or something? Did you get?
I think
I'm
we
doing
just
a
had
free
it.
consultation right now, and do not worry about money. You guys are so funny. Money is prosperity. It's not about money. It's about, can I do it right now? I'm doing it now. Yeah, we can wait till May.
Yeah.
But you have how many podcasts from now until May? I want it now. I never
we do
ever
it
in the
like
world.
5 days a week. 5 days a week we do our podcast. We're only off 2 days per week, so we're doing this every day.
Yeah.
I think I've done it. Okay, in the mid-April, I'll be on the show for a year. So we do this every day. You're getting us on a crazy day, Rory, and I appreciate you because I've just had a crazy 12 days with my girlfriend having a horrible traumatic head injury and staying at the hospital for 7 days and 5 days at my home. This morning I woke up and she was not here. She's at home now. Okay. So this has been crazy. Then I turn on the news. I hadn't even been looking at the news for 7 days, and I'm waking up coronavirus. My daughter, she's 12. She's off school for 2 weeks. And I went to the grocery store to get products, and I'm like, whoa, am I in the twilight zone? So you are coming in onto our show where it is a crazy time. I mean, sometimes Johnny is seamless. Most of the time, Johnny is seamless with technology. Absolutely, shows are going perfectly. This is actually a very crazy, vulnerable, weird, crazy time right now. And our listeners know that. But, you know, we have callers 2 days a week on our psychic days, but this wasn't one of them. That's why we don't have callers. That's why I had to pretend I was Angie from Minnesota. But, gosh, this is just a very crazy time. Right, Johnny? I mean, he hasn't even been able to get a hold of me. We talk like 2-3 times a day usually. What I've gone through lately is probably the most traumatic time I've ever had in my life. And I've had traumatic injuries myself, but watching somebody else that I love almost die and go through a trauma, that I will tell you is worse than myself going through it. So I just came off of that, you know, what I just told you. So, wow. And so thank you for your patience with whatever technical difficulties we had in the beginning and all. You know, we have our regular thousands of listeners, and they're just probably saying, oh, my gosh. I love you, Johnny and Barbara, and thank you, Rory, for coming on at this time, on this day. And, you know, this is a beginning of a wonderful relationship. So thank you.
And don't worry,
I won't worry, but I was a little worried. I was a little worried about what you thought in the beginning of our show, because normally it is seamless. Right, Johnny?
Right.
So do you want to have a live experience for the audience?
Yeah, I do.
So then let's do it. Let's have a live experience of sending you both the desired contract, and you both do exactly that, and it's absolutely going to be mystical and magical. And I was just giving examples of, like, what you guys would talk about in the show, but it's really in the moment of the healing that brings you guys, my whole goal in the answer is to bring you guys closer as if you were family. That's it.
Thank you so much. That's the best gift ever. That's going to be a wonderful birthday gift, right, Johnny?
Yes, it will be. A great way to turn 48.
That's beautiful.
How are you doing, though, Rory? How are you doing, Rory, though? How are you doing? From the time I met you, I think maybe 3 weeks ago, to now? Wow. The whole world the world is coming together, though. It's all about love. We had a show. Was it yesterday, Johnny, or the day before? We had a show, and our wonderful friend Vanessa Orr was on, and she said, you know what? This is all about love because it's global, and there's no politics anymore. We're coming together. It's about life. It's about survival, our health, and people are dying. And this is an amazing time. We never thought we were going to even be experiencing this in our own lifetime, and we are. We are. So we need you more than ever right now, people like you, Rory.
Oh, there's this energy. So when you say love, I had tapped in the last 24 hours of this energy where I step up my home, and it feels like a pin drop. It feels like a sensation that the world is just still. And how are we going to use this stillness to really feel like connected to, like, exactly the word love, but more so like it's a pin drop. It feels like the world is at a still point, and it's never, ever going to ever feel like this type of meditation again. This is beyond of a quiet, calm, spiritual energy that people die to go to mountains to feel it. I never felt this kind of energy being in a very big city like LA, and I felt like it was just like a still point. And I hope that we can resonate on that. So love is something tangible. It's hard to really grasp, but a still point of feeling that, like, quiet point of meditation where you feel like you just flatlined and you just, like, maybe passed out for a second, but you didn't really pass out. It feels like that in the earth right now. The whole earth feels. I
know. I get it. I feel it too. I get that so much. And it's not yesterday or the day before too. I was like a little worried. I was like, shocked, a little like, whoa. But now I do feel what you're talking about. I feel like the still. I feel like the calm. I feel like, you know what? People probably longed for this isolation. Some people just longed for it. And there are people out there that are still worried a lot because financial is a big. What is going? Okay, financial is a big deal for a lot of people. What could you tell? You are psychic. I know that because I go, you're psychic when I met you, and you, So what do you feel about that part of it? To where the people, could you give the people who are worrying about the finances a little bit of relief right now?
The finances. I think this is a great point of just knowing. This is a great point of actually going. This is the best thing about finances is that you get to really look at like where the money is coming from. If you really are in love with what you're doing, are you really feeling like you love the job because you love the people now, because you keep complaining about going to work every day, but then now you're home, stuck home, like now you can't wait to go back home, like back to work, like do you want to be there, do you not? And then it's like such a great time to say, okay, I want to just like shift. This is a great time for you to get discovery. This is meditation.
And gratitude.
Point.
And realizing gratitude,
maybe? Like, you can't have gratitude when someone's not making any money right now. They're just in fear.
Okay.
So what you have to do is look at the fear and say, where is the fear coming from? So this is what I teach, okay? So here's a big nugget for you right now. When you have fear, you can't see the prosperity. You can't see the vision. You can't see what you really want in the sense of desire of like seeing it as a goal. You can only be in the fear. When you remove the fear, and you can't just remove fear, you have to literally say, I would like to just look at this for a second. When people look at it, they can see it. They can say, okay, I really don't want to do this job, but I have so much fear because this is what I have to do. If you remove the fear, they can see the vision. That's it, simple. And then there's prosperity right behind it. Anything you desire to want to do is possible. They're just limited of their belief systems that this is all that there is and this is it. Instead of saying, oh, my God, I'm not getting paid for 2 weeks, I'm home, I'm losing everything in the stock market, I can't get my rent paid, my restaurants aren't getting paid. In this moment of fear, there's no creativity of the expansion of the beautiful mind. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you just say, okay, I'm in a deficit right now of $10,000 for this month's rent, but yet I could see miracles that I want to do this part of my restaurant, open up this part. They're not expansive. Instead of a time where you're just going to say, I'm broke right now, I can't pay my bills, it's not expansive. It's contraction, and then you're in failure. There's no way to get out of that prosperity.
And not only that, but the people, exactly, but the people actually dying who actually have a time limit on their life now.
Right, okay.
I came across something in my mind recently because we haven't done a show on it yet, but I think I would like to say it. I was devastated about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, when my mom called me and told me, Barbara, I have 1 to 2 years left to live. And the summer before, we're slaloming on the lake, water skiing. And a year before that, we are in steamboat skiing downhill. And my mom is a very young and a vibrant woman who's a director of Christian women's groups and all kinds of things in her life. And she's we're very close. She's telling me this. Okay? So then, now the coronavirus. This has empowered my mother. I feel in some sort of a way that it's leveled the playing field. Like she now is the strength. Everybody who is maybe dying is looking up to her and getting strength from her. She turned from the weak to the strong in 1 week. I feel it. I really do. Wow. Wow, it's amazing. We'll have to dive deeper into that later, but that's a profound statement. But I feel it, I felt it, and I feel it. And, before it was like, oh, I have to call my mom every day because all these moments, they're fleeting and she might be gone. And now it's like, I need to call my mom because I have to, rely on her to how am I going to deal with this, and wow, it's just like a kind of a total reverse
Did you hear what I
thing.
said? She's your mentor.
What?
Of hope. She's your mentor of hope. That's why. That's it. And that's what
and
she wants to
hope
leave
is
in her
what,
legacy,
the
no matter
only
what.
thing that people can, and hope is what gets people through things, isn't it? Hope is so important. Hope, right? And there's my mom. She's calling right now, and I have this instant message. I'm on the air. Please text.
Because we're calling her energy.
Yes, and I already sent that to her once during the show, and now again, she's. Oh my gosh, she is so funny, and oh my goodness, it's just like, wow. Let's turn this into. Let's look deeper, people. It's about communication. It's about looking deeper in. And you know what? Just like going to make an appointment with the doctor for your physical problems, make an appointment for your soul, your heart, your life, your livelihood, your relationships. And that's what I found so intriguing with you, Rory. That's what I found so intriguing. Yeah, you're amazing.
You're amazing. I feel like I got to know you on so many levels about Mom and how your relationship. You know, my number one thing is looking in with anything is your parents. And that's my main work, working with people about their road to everything. It's usually the parents. There's something there or something, in this sense, something close to them that happened. And it's really fast and quick with me. And you don't need to trundle into trauma. You don't need to stay in fear. You just get to the root of it so quickly with me, and I want it to be a free life. Like, I don't like to prolong things at all. I like to see things right up front and get rid of it right there and see it, and then just move on, because it's like, why are we dragging our feet into 6 weeks of, like, therapy or, like, going to something consistently to be, like, reminded of something? Let's just see something that's a pattern. That's why I said destructive patterns. I'm known to find the emotional body, tap into that real quick, like any kind of intuitive would, and then say, let's get on with this destructive pattern. The pattern is what keeps getting the same thing over and over and not having the same result that you're looking for. It's insanity.
That's right. It is.
So it's so simple.
It is a
like
form of insanity. It's a pattern. It's a negative pattern. It is a form of insanity. You know, you're insane. Stop it, people. Stop. Fix it. Let's be proactive. Let's find a way. And on Life, Laughter, Happiness, that's what we do. And people ask me all the time, well, what's your podcast about? First thing out of my mouth, which I told you, is positivity. And you're like, wow, and your eyes lit up. I have to say positivity, and that's what we're about. Anything that we could help, and the way to getting further in life isn't just, how can I be the best realtor in life? How could I be the best homemaker? You know, it is about your heart and your soul and you, and the communication between not just you and a man or you and a woman or you and your kid. It's about you and the universe.
Yeah. Well, is there anyone on the show? Like, I don't know, because it's like, I don't know, like, how to reach anyone to let anyone come on it if I want to go on live.
Okay. Well, everybody's listening. Right now they're texting you?
Audience now. Somehow, I have no idea how they know that I'm even on this. It was interesting. I'm just getting, like, bombarded with people. Lori, oh, my God.
Okay.
I want to get on.
Okay.
They're sending it to people.
I will tell you right now. I will tell everybody, and I will tell you and every listener right now. I'm going to close the show. Okay. How you're going to find this show is to go on Life, Laughter, Happiness YouTube channel, and you will be able to listen to this show and find all of our other shows on YouTube. Within an hour, this will be uploaded. We are going to then post it on your website, post it on our website, Life, Laughter, Happiness, RoriMontali.com. her website, and Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, across the board. It's going to be up there on social media. No?
Social media. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and tell us how you want us to spread the word with this show, because, this show is going to be forever. We're going to have links. It's going to be on our website. It's going to be on our YouTube and Facebook. How do you want to share it?
Oh, yeah, it's fine. So if someone wanted an exploratory session, because now we're in quarantine. Like, I'm home now. Like, this is great. I'm not running around. I'm not flying around to see people. I'm not doing workshops. I'm not at conferences. I'm not speaking. This is the best time in the world. Is where I wanted to offer that. Because I only offer the exploratory sessions literally only in the month of February. I know it sounds crazy because it's my love month. But now we're going into this place where I have all the time in the world. I'm not going anywhere. I've never been stuck home where I'm like 9 to 5, like in and off, like in my building. Like, this is just not very unusual for me. So for me to be able to take people's exploratory calls, I want that to be accessible and available, because I want people to feel, without anything about financing or money, that they have a voice, that I can help them create an experience with their circumstance and their desire, okay? And
well,
help
do you
them
want me to give out your phone number? Do you want me to, on air, give your phone number out?
No, not my phone number, but they can email me at Rori@RoriMontali.com.
Okay. Because I still have your business card. And it's right in front of me from the day we met about a month ago. Yeah, you're amazing, and she's beautiful. Hello, people. She's beautiful, and she's bright, and she has the energy of an angel. And thank you so much for not forgetting about Life After Happiness and reaching out to Johnny and getting on the show. Wow. Johnny, this is amazing. I love Johnny. Johnny is my best friend, one of my best friends. And we're making it all happen here. And this isn't just a coincidence. And this is all happening for a reason. And I truly believe that.
I feel that too.
So May, but I would like to have you on before May. Rori, I would like to have you on before May. It's March, and that's 2 months away. Johnny, can we get her back on? You know what we could do is, why don't we do one in April where we let the callers know, because she's a psychic, that they can call in. They love to call in, but we didn't advertise that today because we weren't really sure. So would you, because you want callers.
Yeah, of course. Oh, my God. I'm an interactive in the moment. Whoever's on the call, I tap in, and we're in the transition in that specific time and place in that moment. And nothing's planned, and everything's organic. And we had an experience with the three of us. So that's what's so beautiful today, is that we three got to really own in on, like, a beautiful gift that I'm willing to give as well in May for his birthday. I'm willing to come back and give the audience a gift. I'm always about giving as much as I can give, because I was given so much, Barbara. I had so much need of help. I have so much compassion for anyone that's disabled, anyone that has dysfunction of mental illness or anxiety, or people that I just have this strong, it's like a wounded warrior. You know how you come to life and you're like, why am I here? You have your soul purpose, and then you have your work purpose. Do you know the difference? There's a work purpose of like what you do in life, but then there's the soul purpose. So there's two separate things. So my soul purpose, right, is obviously to be healing and to be what my work purpose is to actually physically get those destructive patterns and get to the root cause of that belief system, so that way you're not running your life again and again and again, and you can get through this lifetime with something through that spiritual lesson. If you don't get the spiritual lesson, you're going to keep repeating, right? We want to be free in this lifetime of something we feared the most, or some trauma that we had, which was a life experience, that we can see our part in it, and we can actually, like, change in that circumstance. And that way we do not attract that same lover. We don't attract the same job. We're actually living in joy. Don't we want to live in joy, guys? Come on.
Well,
Happy,
of course
joy,
I do. And you know
excitement.
what? That's why you know what, Rory? I'm alone. And I relish the fact that I'm alone because I've learned so much by being on the show and talking to so many healers such as yourself that I will not ever in my life settle for less than what is going to, make me happy and make another person happy and be fulfilled. I'm not going to just be with somebody because, they help me out financially or, I'm lonely or, and that's anything. I'd rather be alone until I can find that union. But it's not going to fall into your lap. You have to open yourself up. I know that. And then once you find the person where you connect with, you still have work to do. But, we're human beings. We have work. We need to work on those important things, our soul, our heart, our communication, our mental. And, I've seen couples that work. I've seen them, and I've often wondered, what is it? Is it magic? What do they have that I don't understand? And now I'm understanding it, and I'm learning it, and it's never too late to be educated with this. And it's one of the most, it might be the most important thing there is to learn in life.
Yeah, but what would you want to, in this sense of this energy, what were you thinking the audience was? Intuition, people like coming online and discussing about something very tangible? Do you have leaders on the calls? Do you have people that are mainly looking for tools and guidance?
This is what, okay, our callers call, and these are the three main things they call about. First and foremost, career. Second, love. And third, health. Wouldn't you say, Johnny?
Or health of a relative. Health of a relative.
Yep.
Okay,
right.
So I know what to do now. I got it. So I'll use my magic. I know what to do. I know what programs to put into place and how to reach that audience completely. And I'll share that little teaser with you offline because that's not the call for today. But I will bring that into such a light where it's not about me telling someone their future because that's just BS. It's about them visualizing these tools where they can actually make a move and a change in such a great way that I've seen magic, like miracles happen overnight for that reason.
Okay.
If they can get it first party by me deeply giving them some tools and exercises like as an experience to do that right on the spot, they will get through, and if they can see it, it's called in my program, it's called snapshot moment, okay? If they can see it, so you know what we're going to have the audience listen to. If they can get that Polaroid picture, and it's a snapshot moment, and I give them that Polaroid, right? They can see that image, feeling, and sensation. It's a whole process. I'm not going to do it today on the phone. But if I can get them that Polaroid picture, snapshot moment, they will then go in with that process that I will go through with them. They will see it for the very first time. They will see what that looks like, and they will be able to get it first party. And that is when things move. That's when mountains move. That's when magic happens. Because if I tell them what I see, that's not going to help anyone in any which way, form, if they don't see it. Do you see that? If they don't see it, tangibly feel it, taste it, maybe possibly visualize something of some memory, thought, or feeling, it is not probable that they're going to be able to mask that and make a change. That is the absolute
I want to get
truth.
them, before you come on again, I want them, it's kind of like being reborn. Just pretend nothing ever happened, okay? You don't have your background, which you're holding on to these in your body and your negative, painful memories. that you're holding on to that you don't even realize are affecting your life, and your unresolved traumas that you're experiencing or you have experienced. How can we get them to come like a newborn, like born again, like a little baby just coming raw to you? Is that the best way to come, or just like come with all their problems, or try to empty their mind? What if they don't know how? And they sort of meditate and like get all that out of their mind.
Just come as is.
I can't even fathom your job. Your job is just so, to me, it's a hard job. To me, your career is, wow, that's a lot, because everybody's so different.
No, that's what the creativity is for my intuition, is that I never, ever get bored. It is so beautiful in that moment to give these amazing tools that I've used all my whole life. And in that moment, it's organic. There's nothing I can come to the table with. There's nothing they can come to the table with. It unfolds as is in the present moment. And that is when magic happens. That's when healing happens. That's when the show must go on. When you go with circumstances, with telling someone to show up a certain way and do this, that is so not organic. It's like the way to show up is just to be exactly what's going on in your heart and be open to listen to my guidance, listen to my higher self. I might not talk fully the whole time. I might need a minute to say, let's breathe. I might need 30 seconds on a timer to tune in for them to really calm their nervous system. I don't know. All I know is this. I'm here as a mission because I've struggled and had so much of my own stuff in my whole life that the only reason why I have this particular gift is because I have so much damn compassion for the world, because I don't want them to suffer as many years as possible, and I want someone to really, and I want them to move into the highest frequency of energy, which is what I tap into. I'm not saying my life is perfect. I'm not saying life is perfect. I'm saying only thing I know, and this is what I want to leave the show with right now. I'm a master connector of energy. There's no bio of Rori Montali. That's all BS. It's all like, okay, maybe that's important. Maybe the schooling, which I have tons of degrees. But the most important thing I can honestly share to end this call tonight is that if I can tap into an energy and I can hold enough space on that call for that person to feel into that energy, there's transformation. That's what we need to transmit right now with all of us. It's not about picking up the phone or doing or gifting or having the experience. It's about holding space energetically to help each other. If you can hold that space, that's why I'm gifted. That's it. The only reason why I'm gifted is because I can hold a massive amount of energy. Massive.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not ego. People would fly me in for $20,000, okay, to sit in a room where people are in their notion of crazy that they pay $20,000 for something, okay? They're sick from it. They don't know what they're going to get for 5 days. I'm asked to hold space. I'm a space holder. And when that space is held in such a loving way, but yet that person can feel and tap into a sensation for even a millisecond, they can have a transformation. That's all I do. That's not psychic.
It's worth everything. I mean, you can't even put a price on that. You can't even put a price on that. You cannot even put a dollar amount on that. That is the biggest gift you could give anybody right there.
Well, I hope they're listening now. It's towards the end of the show. This has been a long journey for someone to want to listen to this conversation. That's not a part of it. Our listeners, sometimes we've done 3-hour shows, but we're doing 1 to 90 minutes, and we've gone a little longer because you're amazing. And Johnny, how are you feeling? He's probably just sitting there like dumbfounded and amazed by who I found. Listen to this, Rory. It was so funny because I went to this gifting suite, right, for the Oscars, and Johnny goes, "Did you find anybody for the show?" And I go, "Yeah, one person, Rory. I have her business card." He called me.
I gave him your info, and literally one person, and you were her.
It's fine. I wanted you to connect on that and see if that makes sense to you when I when someone says intimacy and connection expert, you're taking it off the role that they think I'm a therapist going to help them with their relationship. That's how the call wended. But how it's ending is that, can you understand what a space holder is for massive amount of energy to have someone have their own transformation? What do you call that? You can't call that an
What do you call that, Johnny?
It's more of a space holder.
Johnny. Johnny is thinking of it probably as just deep soul searching, deep, you know, connection with a person. I mean, like, how would you feel? That's how I feel. What do you feel, Johnny? Like the deepest, intimate, you know, connection of communication, right, Johnny?
Yes. That's what it is. It's you have to be able to communicate. You have to be able to get your words right. You know, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, and Johnny, he has cerebral palsy, and he tells me he's on the spectrum of autism, which I never even noticed he had either, because I'm in California. I have only had a phone relationship with Johnny. I never even would imagine that he even had that, any of those two things. But in his mind, he feels maybe handicapped. Yeah. And you work with handicapped people.
I was already working on his spine, on his spinal cord, on his lower right lumbar. So as I'm speaking to Johnny and loving him unconditionally, I was actually sending love to certain parts of his body that I can see medically where he needed more energy to, not that something's dysfunction. You understand? It was on the right side of the lumbar, near the sacrum, near the coccyx. I'm in medical field, so I don't want to get medically on you, but I could feel it on the right side of his body.
That's interesting. I don't know. I mean, that is interesting.
Well, maybe you're paralyzed on that area.
Paralyzed?
No, well, you don't look at things that are wrong or right. You're just putting more energy.
Maybe you don't feel your right lower lumbar right now. I'm paralyzed on a lot of things. I'm paralyzed. My neck doesn't work correctly. I have injuries everywhere. My toe has an electric shock I've got to go for. I mean, we're not saying that you're different, Johnny. We're just saying that she's connecting to the lower lumbar right side. I mean, do you feel this or do you not? Do you not?
I mean, I don't feel it, but that doesn't mean that something isn't happening.
No, I'm not asking you to feel something.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter anything. I'm just saying we can just give love to each other if we're intuitive and not have to get paid for it to do an act of goodness. If you see something during here's what I'm going to explain it to you. I wasn't looking to do something for Johnny. I was in a conversation of saying who I am as a person, and I didn't even know that this was coming through to me about energy and holding space and feeling my vibration going from a very high vibration. In that space of feeling the Holy Spirit, God's energy, whatever you want to say that it is, it's a higher vibration of love than what we normally breathe in on the third dimensional doing life. I was going in a higher frequency. In that space, I was bringing myself up to. In prayer, you can do it. In conversation here, I saw something quick. While I'm not looking, saw something. And I was like, oh, it's not, something's wrong. More energy, lower spine, Johnny, done. And it's like, boom. In that spirit, it's like, did I do that energy? No. God did, if you want to bring that into perspective for me. Because I wasn't looking to give Johnny energy. I wasn't looking to tell him something's wrong. I just was in love for whatever reason in this energy, and then God comes through and gives the gift. That gift does not have to be felt. It's just there was more energy giving on the right spinal thing of the lower. That's all I know. And that was given to him. Whatever that energy needs or doesn't need, it's all good frequency, good energy. We don't have to know. We just know that when you raise your vibration of energy, is what I do with the clients and people on the phone, there is healing that happens. That's it.
Okay.
You get that?
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for coming on. It's been amazing having you on. Did you want to do the
I knew
shout out?
you would. Yes, I knew you would really love Rori, Johnny, and I'm so glad that this has come to fruition. And we have done the show. And you know what? This is the beginning of a wonderful relationship. And we'd love to have you on next month if you would be open to that.
Yes, let me know when it's available, and let's do it. I'll book the room where I am. We'll be to the same space, so it'll be perfect. 5 o'clock.
Okay.
One of the days he'll connect with me. But I love you too. I want to hold this space of just thanking everyone for being on the call, or anyone, or just us, whoever it is, and just be grateful in this space of time of that silent stillness that we all have been craving our whole lives, to find a still point. And here it is. So let's embrace it, not run from it, not like try to fight through it and be in fear. Let's just embrace quiet time.
Yes. And don't fight.
All right.
Don't fight through anything.
Okay, guys.
Johnny, please let me.
You.
RoriMontali.com. Please go to her website or email her at Rori@RoriMontali.com, and you will be able to listen to the show again on Life After Happiness YouTube channel. And that's, while you're there, please do not forget to subscribe, because we appreciate your support. What was that, Rori?
Good night. Thank you. God bless.
Oh, good
Namaste,
night.
honey.
We love you. This was an amazing
Good
show.
night.
We love you. We can't wait to talk to you next month.
Good night,
Good night, Johnny, and thank you.
Good night, Barbara.
Good night, guys.
Good night.